Let's be real. The idea of the office has completely changed. It's not a building anymore. It's that corner booth at a coffee shop. It's an airport lounge. It's your kitchen table. Now, that's amazing for getting things done, but for the folks in cybersecurity, it's a total nightmare. The old idea of a digital fortress, well, the walls have completely crumbled. So how in the world do you protect a company when your perimeter is literally everywhere and nowhere at the same time? Let's break down the playbook for how it's done today.
To help us walk through this, we're going to look at a company called WatchPost Security. They live and breathe this exact challenge every single day, and their whole philosophy is right there in their tagline, defending the digital frontier with layered intelligence. So forget about building one single massive wall. We're talking about something way smarter, a flexible shield that actually moves with your team.
And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. You know that old model of a digital castle with a big firewall for a moat? It's just gone. Now, every single laptop, every phone, every employee working from a hotel in a new city, each one is its own little island, and potentially a vulnerable one. That single simple border has shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces.
So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you lock down all your critical data without locking out your own employees and making it impossible for them to work? Well, we're about to walk through WatchPost's playbook to see exactly how they pull it off.
All right, so the very first piece of the puzzle is this. Your security can't be static. It just can't. It has to be dynamic. It needs to be a shield that can adapt in real time to wherever your people are.
The secret sauce behind all of this is a feature called location awareness. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a chameleon for your security. The system instantly figures out if you're on the secure office network, your home Wi-Fi, or maybe a sketchy public hotspot, and it immediately changes its security rules to match that environment. So how does it know where you are? Don't worry, it's not spying on you. It's just looking at some simple digital clues. It checks your IP address to see if you're inside the company network. It looks at the name of the Wi-Fi you're connected to, the SSID, to see if it's a trusted one. It can even tell if you're using a secure VPN. It's kind of like a digital detective piecing together your location from these little technical fingerprints.
And here is where it all pays off. When you're in the office, on that trusted network, everything's open. It's seamless. You can get to everything you need. But the second you connect to the Wi-Fi at that coffee shop, bam! The shield goes right up. The system can instantly block access to sensitive internal files, crank the firewall settings up to maximum, and maybe even restrict certain applications from running. And it all just happens right in the background.
And the key here, the really beautiful part, is that it's all automated. No one has to remember to flip a switch or change a setting. It's a system designed to take human error completely out of the equation. This makes sure that the right level of protection is always on, but without getting in your way. It's security that works with you, not against you.
Okay, so adaptive policies are a fantastic start. But what if the security software itself gets attacked? That brings us to the next critical layer of defense, fortifying the client. We're talking about making the protection software itself super resistant to tampering.
Now, here's the scary part. A lot of modern attacks, especially ransomware, are incredibly smart. They don't just try to sneak past your defenses. Their first move is often to disable your defenses entirely. They try to shut down your security software so that you're left wide open for the main attack.
So what's the defense against that? Well, it's something surprisingly simple, a password. WatchPost just locks down all the critical controls. You want to stop the client service? You need a password. You want to uninstall the software? Password. You want to mess with the policy files? You guessed it, you need the password. It's a really simple but really elegant solution.
And this is just brilliant because most automated malware, it's not designed to deal with a password prompt. It's looking for an unlocked door. So this one simple step can completely derail a really sophisticated attack before it even gets started, just because it can't disable the very software that's there to stop it.
All right, so your shield is adaptive and it's armored. You're in a pretty good spot. But in the world of cyber threats, if you're standing still, you're a target. So the final piece of this puzzle is staying ahead of the curve with a really smart, disciplined update strategy.
This is that classic tightrope that every IT department has to walk. On one hand, you absolutely need the latest updates to fight the latest threats. But on the other hand, if you push out one bad update to the entire company, you could crash systems and bring business to a grinding halt. It's a very high-stakes balancing act. And this is where having a disciplined process is just non-negotiable. WatchPost uses a simple three-step approach. First, they create a small test group, a handful of real-world systems. Second, that test group gets the new updates before anyone else. They're kind of like the canary in the coal mine. And third, they monitor that group very, very closely. Only when they're 100% sure the update is safe and stable does it get rolled out to everybody else.
This really brings their whole philosophy together. That lighthouse in their logo, that's about vigilance. Always watching, always on guard. But you can't just hope you're safe. You have to prove it. And that's where something like the report you see on the right comes in. That's the verification. That's the hard data that proves your shield is up and fully armed on every single device.
This is exactly the kind of visibility that lets system admins sleep at night. With a quick glance, they can see if every single machine is running the right software version and has the absolute latest threat definitions for everything. It's all about finding and closing those tiny gaps before an attacker has a chance to find them first.
So as we start to pull all of this together, a really clear picture starts to emerge, right? A truly strong defense isn't about buying one magical piece of software. It's about weaving together a whole system of intelligent practices where each one reinforces the others.
And that's the WatchPost playbook in a nutshell. You've got smart policies that adapt to any situation. You've got a hardened client that can resist a direct attack. And you've got a disciplined update process that keeps you one step ahead of the bad guys. It's a system where each part makes the entire thing that much stronger.
So I'll leave you with this final question to think about for your own setup. Is your digital security just a static, brittle wall that's just waiting for someone to find a crack? Or is it a living, breathing, adapting shield that's just as smart and just as mobile as the team it's trying to protect?